Okay, solve. Just a random equation. 9x second minus 49 equals 0. We have x second only, so we would want to apply linear properties. Okay. So there's two answers to the problem. But linear properties, you're trying to get the x second by itself. You're not trying to make a bunch of boxes and a bunch of parentheses. So we have 9 times x to the second minus 49. So you take out your minus 49 first with plus 49. Then you're going to get rid of your times 9 with divide by 9. Then you're going to get rid of your second power with a square root. So you're going to plus 49 first, and that takes you to 49. Then you're going to divide by 9. Now 49 divided by 9 is going to be, I don't want that. So second PRB, that would be 5 4/9. 9 goes into 49 5 times. There's 4 left over. Okay. Then we find the square root. And remember, that could be the positive or the negative. Okay. So second square root 5, ABC 4, ABC 9, 2 1/3. Okay. So you could have the positive 2 1/3, or you could have negative 2 1/3. Either one's okay. Now we're doing a little bit something different here today. Okay. It says find if the solutions are rational or irrational. Okay, that's what you're going to do. And it's not a hard thing to do. So you're not solving the equation. You're finding whether the solutions are rational or irrational. So here's how you figure that out. Again, you don't have to solve the problem. You're just saying, what are the solutions? Are they rational or irrational? What you use is something known as the discriminant. Discriminant. Doesn't have to be spelled right. The discriminant. Here's what the discriminant is. It's the square root part of the quadratic formula. So the square root of b squared minus 4ac. Okay? So you don't need to do the GCF and all that stuff. You can just ABC the problem from right there. So I put negative 2 in for b, 4, and then 1 in for a, and negative 8 in for c. Then I make a square root, and that subtraction sign you put right there. Okay? And then you got two products to find. 2 to the second power, which means 2 times 2, and then 4 times 1 times negative 8. So 2 times 2 is 4. That goes in front. 4 times 1 times negative 8 is negative 32. So you put negative 32 behind the minus sign. Now we're subtracting a negative number. When you're subtracting a negative, you make it plus plus. So that's 36. Now you put equals positive or negative. And since 36 is a perfect square, okay, 6, it equals 6. That's a rational number, okay? It's an integer. It's a whole number. So you put rational. Now when that comes out to be, when I have to square root this, if I square root 36 on a calculator, it comes out to a nice solid number. Okay, there's no never terminating decimals. It's when you get never terminating decimals that you write irrational. Okay, 5x to the second power plus 13x minus 1 equals 0. So we have to evaluate the discriminant. Actually, hold on here. When you get positive or negative 6, I want you to put above rational 2 solutions. Okay? Because there would be 2 solutions to the problem. Anytime you get that. Okay, discriminant. So b squared minus 4ac. So b is 13, and then 4a is 5, c is negative 1. So you put in your minus sign. So 13 to the second, so we take 13 times 13, and then 4 times 5 times negative 1. So 13 times 13 is 169. Negative 20, so after the minus you put negative 20 plus plus. Okay, so 189. So the square root of 189 that's irrational. Okay, so 13.75. But the point is, I had a decimal, I had to round it. So there are two solutions, but they are both irrational solutions. Okay. Okay, anytime you have to round that decimal because it goes crazy like that, that's an irrational solution. Okay, next one. 3x to the second plus 4x minus 4 equals 0, so discriminant. So the square root of b squared minus 4ac. Okay. So b is going to be 4, 4a is 3, and c is negative 4. Okay, so 4 to the second, that means 4 times 4. And then after the subtraction sign, you got 4 times 3 times negative 4. 4 times 4 is 16, so you put that in front. Then 4 times 3 times negative 4 is going to be negative 48. So after the minus, you put negative 48. Okay, so minus negative, you go plus plus on that, and that's 64. Okay, so the square root of 64. Okay, I got an integer value, so it's 8. Okay, so you write two solutions, and they would both be rational. Okay. Next one, 3x to the second power minus 7x plus 6 equals 0. So the discriminant. So b squared minus 4ac. Okay, so b negative 7, 4ac, a is 3, c is 6. Okay. So you put in your minus is here. So negative 7 to the second, that means negative 7 times negative 7, and that's 49. And then after, you got 4 times 3 times 6. $72. Now this one's kind of a different one. Okay. Take 49 minus 72, and you get negative 23. Here, I'll put that equals. Try to square root negative 23 on your calculator. You can't do it. It's a domain error. So when I get a domain error, that's because you can't take the square root out of a negative number at this point in the game. So you write no solution. Okay? There'd be no solutions at all. It's not whether there's, two rational or two irrational. It's the fact that there's no solutions whatsoever. So when you get the domain error because you're taking the square root of a negative number, yeah. Okay, next one. 6x to the second power minus 5x minus 7 equals 0. So the discriminant. So b squared minus 4ac. Okay, so b negative 5 to the second minus 4, and then a is 6, c is negative 7. Okay. So you put minus negative 5 to the second, that's negative 5 times negative 5. After the minus, you got 4 times 6 times negative 7. It's negative 168. Okay, so you're going to have 25 before it, and then you're going to put the negative 168 behind it, so plus plus. Now 25 plus 168 is 193. Now find the square root of 193. Okay, 13.89. I had to round the decimal. Okay, so that's two solutions. And those are going to be irrational. Again, two solutions. I have to round that decimal, so they're irrational. Okay, next one. A, B, C, discriminant. So B squared minus 4AC. So B is negative 47. 4A is 5. C is negative 156. So I put in the minus, negative 47 to the second. It's going to be a pretty big number. Okay, 2,209, 2209. And then 4 times 5 times negative 156. Got negative 3,120. So after the minus, you put negative 3,120 plus plus on that. So 2209 plus 3120, you get 5,329. Okay, so find the square root of 5,329. Got 73. It's a nice solid number. Okay, so there's two solutions, but they would both be rational since the square root came out to a whole number. Okay, 4x to the second power minus 21x minus 18. Okay, so A, B, C. So B is negative 21 to the second, then we got 4, and then A is 4, C is negative 18. Okay, so you have negative 21 to the second, that means negative 21 times negative 21, and then you have 4 times negative 18. It's going to be 441. And 4 times negative 18, that's going to be negative 288. Plus. So 441 plus 288, that's going to be 729. Find the square root of 729, and that's going to be 27. Got a nice solid number. That's a rational number, so it would be two solutions, and they would both be rational. Okay, x to the second plus 7x minus 5 equals 0. So A, B, C. So B squared minus 4AC. So B is 7, 4, A is 1, C is negative 5. 7 to the second, 4 times 1 times negative 5. 7 times 7 is 49. 4 times 1 times negative 5 is negative 20, so you put the negative 20 after the minus, plus plus. So 40 plus 29 is 69. So the square root of 69 is 8.31. So that's two solutions, but they are both irrational. Because I had this crazy decimal I had to round, that means the two solutions are going to be irrational. Remember, okay, now you remember that problem where you got no solutions? Okay. You're going to write 4 quadratic equations with no real solutions. Now here, it's not hard to write. Okay, it seems like it's a daunting task, but it's really not. Okay, so you can go blank x second plus blank x plus blank equals 0. And then 4 of them. Now remember, this is A, this is B, this is C. Okay, here's how you ensure that this is going to happen. Pick a small number for B, somewhere between 1 and 5. Let's pick 4. Okay. Then pick 2 bigger numbers for A. Now you don't want to pick negatives because then that's not going to work. Okay. Let's pick 6 and 5. Okay. Now you don't have to do this, but I'll prove that this works. Okay. So B to the second minus 4AC. So B is 4. And then A is 6, C is 5. So you bring your minus down. 4 to the second is 4 times 4, that's 16. Then 4 times 6 times 5 is going to be something bigger than 16. 120. So I end up subtracting a larger value from a smaller value, which is how we get a negative. Okay. So it's going to be negative 104, but you can't take the square root of a negative number. That's when you get the domain error, which means there are no solutions. So all you have to do is make the B smaller than the A and C. Okay. So I'll pick 7, then I'll go 10 and 9. That would have no real solutions. I'll pick a 1, what the heck, and then 5 and 8. Okay, I'm just making them up, but you want to ensure that that happens, you want your B to be smaller so that the B to the second is smaller than the 4AC product. That's how you get a negative with no solutions. Okay, next one, let's pick 9 and 11. 9's kind of a high number, but I just need to pick higher values. See, again, you can always check to see if it does have no solutions with the discriminant. So B is 9, 4, A is 11, C is 12. 9 times 9 is 81. 4 times 11 times 12. 528. And again, yeah, that's going to result in me taking the square root of a negative number. When I take 81 minus 528, it's negative 447. So that's no solutions.